never really been asked on a proper date by a man.
Ever?
In my life.
To this day?
In my life.
Wow.
I always had boyfriends. So I went from boyfriend to marriage.
How did you get from point A to B?
What do you mean?
Like, how did you get
Introduction to
Yeah,
boyfriend.
like, how did somebody become your boyfriend?
Somebody would always, I was always like a catcher. They wanted to snatch me up.
There's something about that that's quite funny.
I was always like that, a catchers. They wanted to snatch me up.
Value is what he just said. Rare. What's more rare? A man could go outside and say, how many women want this man to pay all of my bills? 100 women will raise their hand. How many women can go outside with 1 or 2 kids and say, I'm looking for a man to pay all my bills? So who's more rare? The man is more rare. The woman is less rare, which makes the man more valuable, yet the man will go into his household and be treated as if he's less valuable.
Tell us the truth!
They're everywhere. I got a challenge for every woman watching. Go outside, and today I want you to count how many men, period, you run into. For one full day, I bet you if you're outside in the world, it would be more than 100. Now, every man, he might have been an Uber driver, he might have been a doorman, he might have been the gardener, he might have been the Amazon delivery guy, and a woman will say, yeah, I ran across 100 men, but none of them were their option. These men were virtually invisible because she has her eye on one guy, right? Now, here's the harsh reality. What if you're invisible to that one guy? Men are everywhere. I got a challenge for every woman watching. Go outside, and today I want you to count how many men, period, you run into. For one full day, I bet you if you're outside in the world, it would be more than 100. Now, every man, he might have been an Uber driver, he might have been a doorman, he might have been the gardener, he might have been the Amazon delivery guy, and a woman will say, yeah, I ran across 100 men, but none of them were their option. These men were virtually invisible because she has her eye on one guy, right? Now, here's the harsh reality. What if you're invisible to that one guy?
All right, so what's good, YouTube? It's your man, Book of AlphaRonomy, a.k.a. Dr. BOA. Yep, I got time today. We're starting to find out that a lot of these Hollywood women are not the starlets that we thought they were from seeing them on television. They have the most relationship problems, and they are the greatest proof we have that even the woman who seems perfect can't satisfy a man. And I like to refer to Angela Yee as the cat lady whisperer. Whenever there's a cat lady that needs to vent, that needs to spill the beans about something in her life that didn't go the way she thought it would go, Angela Yee is her source. And in this situation, it's going to be Tisha Campbell. Now, you know Tisha Campbell as Gina from Martin. That's her most famous role. And she's had several other roles, House Party and a few other movies and some sitcoms and all of those things. She's a respected actress in the field. Recently, she was on an episode of Angela Yee's podcast, and she said something that shocked me. I can't even lie. It really shocked me. And it just goes to show that even these top tier women who are in the spotlight and have these positions of affluence and influence, to the men on their level, they're treated the same way. If their actions belie that they are to be played with and not stayed with, this is what they deal with.
I don't know. Let me tell you, I never really been asked on a proper date by a man. Ever?
In my life.
To this day? In my life.
Wow.
I always had boyfriends. So I went from boyfriend to marriage.
How did you get from point A to B?
What do you mean?
Like, how did you get
Introduction to boyfriend.
Yeah, like, how did somebody become your boyfriend?
Somebody would always, I was always like a catcher. They wanted to snatch me up. So I always had boyfriends, and I don't have a long roster. I don't have a long body count.
Yeah.
But
we got time. No playing.
I don't have so I just went straight from that to marriage. So the whole dating thing is all new.
Oh, we need to get you a proper somebody ask you on a date.
Yeah.
Now, when you hear this, you have to ask yourself, does she really mean that no one has ever asked her on a date? And then you have to remind yourself that words have meaning. Here's a woman who many men have desired, and she's never even been asked out on a date. She has just been something to try to smash and dash. Now, I want you to think about the women in your life that you deal with, that you've dealt with, that you want to deal with. who are not even as fly as a young Tisha Campbell was. Certainly not as famous as a young Tisha Campbell was, and probably not as financially stable as a young Tisha Campbell was. And you still out here whining and dining and doing all these crazy things. Why? Because you're under the influence of beta male simp manginitis. There are many men who teach the same beta male logic, the same simp logic when it comes to women. Because in their minds, they truly believe that you have to pay to play. When in our actuality, if you want to pay to play, fine, you can do that. But you don't have to. If you have enough control over your wood to not jump off a cliff and do whatever a woman wants you to do and jump through a flaming hoop with gasoline draws on for a woman just so you can have the hope of getting laid, then the way you approach this is totally different.
Average man got a woman and he's trying to understand his
Even if
value.
you ain't pimping, you can still use the same science that I'm telling you.
I'm not down in a woman. I'm just waking a man up to his value that he's
Yeah, I
been
see what
tricked
you're
out
saying.
of. He goes to work. He pays all the bills. Or he's an athlete and he's a multimillionaire, got all this fame. Yet he comes in the house and is treated as if he's either equal to the woman or less than the woman and gets treated like a doormat. Why? But what I'm saying is open your eyes. Metric to metric, apples to apples. If a man is paying all the bills for this woman and say she has a kid or two, value is what he just said. Rare. What's more rare? A man could go outside and say, how many women want this man to pay all of my bills? 100 women will raise their hand. How many women can go outside with 1 or 2 kids and say, I'm looking for a man to pay all my bills? So who's more rare? The man is more rare. The woman is less rare, which makes the man more valuable, yet the man will go into his household and be treated as if he's less valuable. All I'm saying to a man is wake up to your value and realize you're more valuable and don't let it treat you like that. That's all I'm saying.
See, I played this clip not to down talk Tisha Campbell, but to show you that men on every level do not be whining and dining these women, bruh. You can whine and dine them all you want to, but there's a man who she truly likes who doesn't have to do anything except pull up. And she'll come out of the house with her husband and go jump in the car with that man. Or she'll tell her husband, I need to run to Walmart right quick, pull up in the Walmart parking lot. Or she'll tell her husband, let me run to McDonald's and get the baby some kids, some Happy Meals right quick. And she'll pull up in the McDonald's parking lot and hop in the car with that man. I'm not telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know. And see, the problem is many of you men have been that guy who was at home while your woman was going out jumping in somebody's car because you chose to put her in a position of wine and dining without making her focus on shining and grinding. You understand me? So when you hear a woman like this, she's not talking about now. The woman says she's never, ever been asked out on a proper date. Why? Because she wants to get laid just like men want to get laid. And if she truly likes you, you ain't gotta do none of that. And the reality is, some of these women, bro, they so turned up that they just always want to get it in. I want y'all to comment down below and tell me you met a woman who always want to get it in, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what. If you can see her 5 days in a row and she'll want to get it in 5 days in a row. You can't live with that type of woman. You mean tell me you want to live with a woman? I want y'all to let me know. Put a 1 in your comment if you could live with a woman that want to be intimate every day. She want to get it in every day. Now, if your answer is yes to that, then you got to ask yourself, how desperate are you for intimacy? How desperate are you to get laid? How desperate are you to feel desired by a woman? Because that's a lot, bruh. To even wrap your mind around the concept that you could live with a woman who wants to get it in every day, which means out of every month, you willing to get it in about 22 days. Except for the 8 days when she's separated for her time of the month, you willing to get it in 22 days every day, every month with the same woman? Come on, bruh. No man is willing to do that. Even if you can, you're not willing to. You shouldn't be willing to. But this is the world we live in, where you have a large group of men who are simps, and you have a small group of men who apply the prism of the ism. And so every time I meet a woman, personally, my experience, every time I meet a woman, I have never met a woman who's familiar with the prism of the ism. She has never met a man who is not willing to pay to play. She has never met a man who's not willing to come in and do things for her children by somebody else. She has never met a man who doesn't believe that it's his responsibility to come in and start paying her bills that she already had. She has never met a man who ain't got time to spend with her if she ain't got no paper to kick down. She ain't never met that. And so I know for a fact that the prism of the ism is spread out so far, and you can say, well, you might be the only one. No, I got partners all over the country that's about the prism of the ism. Hell, I got partners in other countries that's about the prism of the ism. But honestly, man, there's only about 50 of us that I know worldwide. A bunch of people talking, but not many people walking. And that's just how real it is. But so I like to use examples like this, examples of women saying that they have never been wined and dined like that. Because it's a low-level guy who thinks that, man. Low-level guys think that. Check out LL and Mike Tyson telling you why you don't do that. Again. So it's not just me. I'm not the only man who's saying this. Many men are. Because it's just not the way that we should be living our lives as men. Women were put here to be helpmeets. Man, if she can't help me meet my goals, man, then man, she can go ahead and stay on over there with somebody else, bro. Real talk. Because on the real, if she can't help me meet my goals, man, then she can stay over there with the other hoes, man. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do it, man. If she thinks she's gonna get my paper, man, she can dissipate like the vapors, dog. It ain't gonna happen. I refuse to do it because it's not my job. Is it my job to provide and protect? Yeah, for my woman. If you're not my woman, you don't get no provision. You don't get no protection. You better be glad I let you handle this erection, baby. All right, I'm done with this one. Like this video on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be alerted to when I upload some more of this Prism of the Ism. And as always, Alpha's up, Beta's down. Peace.